And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. Good night.
Yes, the season is now officially over. Leverkusen almost won the treble. Girona and Bologna qualified for the Champions League. Olympiacos became the first Greek team in the history to win a European title, and Atalanta Bergamo won the Europa League. But in every season, there are surprises as well as big disappointments. So let's talk about it. If you ask which club has disappointed the most this season, you might hear Sevilla or Union Berlin. But there is also SSC Napoli. What has happened to Napoli this season? Last year they dominated the Serie A and reached the Champions League quarterfinals. This season they were eliminated by Barca in the round of 16, finished 10th in the league with only 13 wins, and lost the Supercoppa final to Inter. Napoli is the worst title defender in the Serie A history. They even broke the record of the legendary Torino team in 1949, which couldn't defend their title after their team got reduced in a fatal plane crash. We can only speculate on what Napoli's problems were this season. Their loss of their Scudetto coach Luciano Spalletti and the complete change of system from ball possession to more counterattacks by the new coach Rudi Garcia, who's now being replaced by Antonio Conte for the new season, certainly played a major role. This unsettled some of the top stars from last season who no longer put the same performances. In addition, sporting director Cristiano Guentoli left the club, who not only made top transfers such as Osimhen or Quara, but also provided to have a good instinct when it came to sign assistant and athletic coaches. This left only the club president as a leading figure of the Scudetto year, who completely overestimated his squad planning and hardly brought any new players, even though a top player like Kim left the club. Of course, we didn't expect Napoli to become champions again straight away, but the Champions League, or at least a Europa League qualification, should have been possible. We are now wondering which stars Napoli will be able to keep and how things will probably go next season without Zielinski, who is about to move to Inter Milan, Quara, who wants to join PSG, and Osimhen, who has been linked with PSG, Man United and Chelsea. Yeah, sorry for that, but it just had to be. Man United can't be missing, of course. That was pretty much the worst season from Man United we have ever seen in our lives, even if they won the FA Cup. Don't get us wrong, the FA Cup win was magnificent, a tactical masterclass by Ten Hag. But unfortunately, it was pretty much the only one, apart from the Liverpool game. Anyone who has seen the semi-final against Coventry knows what I'm talking about. Unlike at Napoli, we don't have to ask ourselves what went wrong. You have to ask what didn't go wrong. Let's start with the transfers. Mason Mount for 65 million. Really? Onana for 50 million. And getting rid of De Gea, the best goalkeeper of the Premier League season 2022-23 and an absolute club legend. Well, not exactly the best transfers. Then there are the countless injuries. Man United had to play with Evans and Kamvala in the meantime because Varane, Martinez, Maguire and Lindelof were all injured. Man United have played really bad football this season. No real build-up play, just long balls from Onana to Højlund and then somehow trying to keep the ball or just counter-attacking through Fernandes. The result was a goal difference of -1 and the 8th place in the Premier League. And God only knows how they got the 8th place with this football. Another problem was that the stars didn't perform. And when we say didn't perform, we actually mean really bad perform. The only player who played a good season again was Fernandes. The others were a disaster. Casemiro, I'm sure we have all noticed. We don't even need to talk about Anthony. Sancho was loaned out and is now playing world-class football at Dortmund. And Rashford in particular has been completely disappointing. 13 scorers in 43 games. Last season he had 40 in 56 games. The only positive apart from the FA Cup win are the youngsters Garnacho and especially Kobbie Mainoo, who both played a great season. Man United can be really happy with these two lads in the future. Before we come to the most disappointing players this season, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments who was the biggest disappointment of the season for you. Every season the spotlight is on the big stars and especially the big expensive transfers. While Bellingham, Declan Rice and Harry Kane are playing world-class seasons and even fight for the Ballon d'Or, there are others who have really disappointed. Kolo Muani certainly comes first here. The man strikes off from Frankfurt and moves to PSG for 95 million. Plays just 1,200 minutes in Ligue 1, that's 14 games over 90 minutes, and scores just 9 goals for PSG in all competitions. The next candidate is the already mentioned Mason Mount, who moved to Man United for 65 million, has been injured for half the season and has only 2 goal contributions all season. Other top transfers that should be mentioned in this list are the Premier League players: Sandro Tonali, who was banned almost the whole season for betting fraud, Ansu Fati, who unfortunately couldn't really show anything at Brighton, and also Moise Caicedo, who to be fair showed good performances towards the end of the season. Nevertheless, you should be able to expect more from a 120 million transfer. There are also a few names from the Bundesliga: Felix Nmecha, for who Dortmund paid 30 million, Naby Keita, who only played 5 games for Bremen and was suspended at the end, and unfortunately also Kim, who has not delivered at all for Bayern this season and made 2 fatal mistakes against Real Madrid. Check out our links in the video description. Otherwise, thanks for watching guys, and see you.